Hello there, and welcome to part two of the walkthrough of the Sidrat beneath the Infinity Tree. Now, as you may remember from last time, we just completed the Infinity Tree quest, the main part of the add-ons, the additions, um, and Tarn Golden Oak told us we should go to the Mechanical Mansion to see if anything has changed. And when we've done that, we'll come back here and we'll complete the three quests that the residents of the Infinity Tree have set. And when we've done that, we should be able to unlock Treetop Lodge here and have an additional place to stay. I'm going to first of all wait a couple of hours so the light's a little bit better for us to see around. And for the first time, of course, we don't have the terrible weather we had before, so we can also have a little bit of a look around the tree itself. Right. Okay, so I'm going to head straight to the Mechanical Mansion. I should also point out, towards the end, I hope to do a little bit of a sort of cutting room floor part to the walkthrough. Items that I haven't yet managed to get working and may never be able to get working, rather sadly due to some limitations of the Skyrim engine. My mods do seem to stretch what can be done with the with Skyrim, and sometimes you just can't push any harder. You, for example, won't see what you can see up there, that giant ballista. We'll investigate that a little bit later on. That's a bit that's had to been dropped, unfortunately. Now, by this point, you're probably getting a little bit fed up with having to go back and forth to the Mechanical Mansion and back. But hopefully this will be more or less the last time we'll have to do that. Okay. Now, first thing I wanted to point out is there is now a K9 here. And of course, we can go to anywhere in the Sidrat, as you can with any other K9. And that also means that location has now been unlocked for all the other K9s. And we should also point out that this is the part that Tan was talking about. There is another cube receptacle, curious cube receptacle, has appeared, and this one, when we drop off a cube into it, has now opened up, as you can see, loads more receptacles. And the reason for those is you get to tailor the Mechanical Mansion any way you choose. And when you've done tailoring, you can take that out again, and all the other receptacles will disappear. So yeah, let's have a quick look at what we can add. I've collected quite a few of the cubes. I've gone down into the below the mushroom cave in the garden area and found a good 10 or so, I think, down there. Now we recognise there's two in the middle. They were there as part of the original quest, but we've got two additional ones there, and of course you can make your choice as to which ones you want to have up and down. Here we have an additional receptacle, which simply removes all of the moss and hangings from the outside of the tower. But I'm quite happy to have them there, so I'm going to leave them there. Additionally, we've it gets a little bit dark at night, so there is a lights option. You can precarious black cube in here, and suddenly we've got pretty strong lights everywhere. They look better at night. The green and the orange is a little bit of contrast of the orange light coming from the early morning sun. This is definitely a morning place to be. As you can see, it really catches the sun as it comes up. Okay, so around the edge here we have a lot of garden areas, and I'll trigger off a lot of them. We also have this, which is a seating area. You can see the seats coming up there. Oh, one more here. Oh, there we go. All looking very beautiful. And there is one more here. This one activates an infinity pool. You can see the water's rising there. And the infinity pool has a nice little raft on it, so you can lie back and enjoy the mechanical mansion as the sun rises. Very nice. Okay, so those are all aesthetic add-ons, really, making this a nice little place to rest and relax after a hard day's adventuring. But it also opens up a few other receptacles. Now, we spoke about launchers a little bit before, but didn't go into any detail, and we said we were going to talk about them now, and here we are talking about them. So these launchers are a convenient way to move through the matrix. You simply stand on them and pull a lever, and they will launch you through the air to a destination. That one there would take you straight back to the beginning of the matrix, with Bessie and the picnic and the sandcastle. This is the one we're interested in at the moment, though. Oh, in case you're wondering what those little puffs of smoke are, that's misters for the garden area, making sure that they're well watered. Okay, let's activate. Whoa, there we go. So the launchers fling you in the air at a ridiculous speed and allow you to travel from one area of the matrix to another. Oh, we only just made it into the water there. If you land in water, you're fine, of course. Although, like I was basically drowning upside down there. Okay. And the trick to the booze quests, which we'll be dealing with shortly after we've done 2 other residents quests, is the speed at which you can find the beverage. And without these activated, you're going to find it difficult. This definitely makes it a lot easier. This is a launcher that'll take us right back to the mechanical mansion. There we go. All coming so close to that branch. The trick to using those is to stand right in the middle. Don't be moving left or right at the time. When you're happy that you're not moving, then pull the lever. If you're moving in a certain direction, then it'll have a little bit of momentum, which could take you off your trajectory, and you could crash into something. Obviously, this is something that Dwemer learned at a very early age, and no one ever really gets hurt at all. But for you guys, learning it later on in life, you just need to get that right. So, okay, we're going to fly straight back to the Infinity Tree. I could do this all day, and if I'm doing enough booze quests, I will be doing it most of the day. The camera angle, unfortunately, is fixed when you fly through the air. As soon as you ragdoll, it seems to sort of take a random view as to where that camera will be. So it can be a little bit disorienting. Okay, so as we're here, let's have a little bit of a look around. We've got some aviaries, not aviaries, beehives. Definitely birds here. Actually, there are a couple of birds flying around the tree itself. They might be hard to spot. Oh, yeah, I think we can just see one up there. There he is. But yes, we can hear the bees there. All this stuff should respawn, given enough time. In here we have chickens, loads of chickens doing chicken stuff. Lots of nests to harvest. They should be coming over here and feeding, but I don't seem to get the hang of that yet. Yeah, there they go. Okay, beyond that, if you've got the fishing patch installed, there should be a fishing area here. Yeah, here it is. And yeah, fishing works just as it does in Anniversary Edition. Plenty of crops to harvest. And there's some livestock here as well, goats and cows. And here is the inn. At the moment, not many people here. And these are a new item. They kind of are a station, a crafting station. It's allows you to cook any raw meats you've got on you. Normally in the game you need salt as well, but the idea is that these grills will always have a salt supply, so you don't need the salt ingredient to cook. Let's have a look. Let's put the horse meat on there. And also, different to the rest of the game, it's not something that's done instantaneously. You're meant to put the items on to grill, they'll sizzle a little bit, and about 20 or 30 seconds later they'll be ready. There we go. So we've got a horse haunch, that's hard to say, leg of roast goat and a mammoth steak, and all of that we could do without actually needing any salt. At the same time that became unlocked, there was another grill in the kitchen. You might have noticed there's a new area in the kitchen by the oven. That was for the grill, and so you can cook like that in your kitchen as well. Okay, I'm not quite sure when we're going that way. Right, let's start then on the quest for the residents. First one we'll do should be quite easy. This is for Twinter. Right. Quite straightforward. as I said. But it'll make a very sad man happy. Less sad. Oh, in fact, let's put that on. There we go. You can just make out the heartbeat there. I'm just going to take a bit of a shortcut there. Frustratingly, you have to go back through the maze again. Well, it's not really a maze, but all the tunnels. Okay. So it's the Queen's chamber. That's where we fought the Queen. Still got a couple of arrows in it. And here is Tauntum's corpse. So in here he's got a journal. I'm not going to read that journal, but you're welcome to if you like. That's oh. All right, let's kill off some of these nasties first. Where's that worker? There he is. And some more here. Oh, soldier. Okay. And we go back the way we came before. Yes, so the journal contains a little bit more of the background. I hope to do a little bit more dialogue at some point to expand a little bit on why exactly it is that these guys are dead. Bosma are in this tree. But they're basically been brought here by the Infinity Tree to help out. Or maybe the Sidrat. It does seem to have a semi-sentience. Okay. I'll be in the bow for a little bit. Here he is. Okay, there we go. One of the Infinity Tree residents has been helped out. Now we have 4 vendors in the Infinity Tree. This guy doesn't have a quest. He is just a blacksmith vendor. This guy here, yeah, he thinks we're Brian, has a couple of special items for sale. Now the thinking cap we've already seen, but it's actually a really good item. So let's grab that. Okay, there we go. His general sales stuff is just regular magic stuff, except for those 2 items. Now then, let's have a look. So Silver's Thinking Cap, yeah, there we go. Allows an additional enchantment when enchanting, but lowers strength of all enchantments by 20%. That is still a very good item. Instead of just the legendary items you find from time to time, you can now actually make your own 3 power items, 3 enchantments items. That 20% reduction is, it doesn't seem very much, but at the same time, if you're wearing Sorvad's Thinking Cap, you can't wear Azidal's items, which when combined give you plus 10% enchanting. So you have to work out what would be good there. Obviously, any items you enchant that have things like Muffle, which is just an effect or not, then that'll be very powerful in that situation. You can you could add quite a few of those powers together. Now we found the storage portal gloves before. Well, I did, but I think before, I think off walkthrough, and we've seen that in previous walkthroughs. You have to wear the gloves though at all times for that to have that power, and then you still have to set that power and then effectively cast that power. The storage portal ring can be disenchanted, so you can then add that power, particularly when in combination with Sorvad's Thinking Cap, to I think it's gloves or rings. So if you have 3 enchantments on your ring, you could have, for example, magic resistance and then fire resistance. But then you can also have the storage portal power. And that can become an item that you can be, wearing all the time, rather than having to switch between your best armor to the storage portal gloves, etc. Okay, let's move on from that. Actually, might be quite good to show you those 3 enchantments. So my character's got 100 enchantment and has let's have a look. There we go. The extra effect perk, which allows you to put 2 enchantments on the same item. And if I were now to wear Sorvad's Thinking Cap, I can now do a full 3 enchantments there. So if I wanted to do the Ancient Dragon Bow, I could put Absorb Health, Absorb Magicka, and Absorb Stamina on the same item. Yes, lovely, very powerful. Or if you want to do chaos damage, yeah, I mean, you get the idea. Lots of stuff you could do. I'm going to take that hat off because I think it looks silly. All right. And he puts a Falmer helmet on instead, yeah. Okay, so after that slight diversion, we're going to do the second quest. And that's for Gwyneth. Yep. Okay, there we go. Thanks again to Fabrice Darkstar there for that wonderful voice acting and dealing with a word like construction, which I made up and is actually really quite hard to pronounce. And that came across really well. And do you recognise the tune that Gwyneth is humming there? Comment below if you can guess it. I think Fabrice did this on her walkthrough as well, although I'm not sure I saw anyone actually having guessed it. Right, okay, hold on. I need to put the quest on. I'm not quite sure why they're not happening automatically. Maybe it's because I've got that there. Okay, so we've got 3 objective markers there telling us where the buckets are, and I can just about make that bucket out from over there. Now let's use the conjuration spell, the Dwemer construction spell. There we go. It's quite a fun thing. This it just makes a physical item in the world. Only works around the tree because it's the only place with enough of the right kind of power. And as she said, there's only 10 at a time that we can be that can be constructed at the same time. So we've got 4 there. We can only make another 6. So as we go, we may need to remove some of them. They should be quite easy to get onto. They use the same mechanic as stairs, which give you a little bit of a hop up when you go over them. Okay, here we go. That's the first one. And there we go. Let's pop down. And let's get rid of those, because the other ones are the other side. When you completed this quest, you do still have that spell, so it can be used around the Infinity Tree. Should you ever want to grab any more Infinity Tree sap, if we look at it as an item, hold on, where are we? I think it's here. I've got a lot of potions. Infinity Tree sap, there we go. It's a very good cloak spell. It basically does 3 different kinds of cloak damage to an opponent. So it may well be worth you harvesting some of that when you finish this quest. Right. The tree sap returns every 24 hours, so don't expect it to be there straight away. Right, am I going the right way here? I think it must be. Oh. Jump, jump, jump. There we go. I'm going to try and get rid of some of the bottom ones again so we don't run out. Okay, this little bit we can run along. Right, let's go down here. Okay, now this gets very, very angular. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more support there. Because, yeah, you don't want to fall. You really don't want to fall because it's a long, long way down. Okay, I think one more maybe. Here we go. There we go, that's 2 of them. Right, and not forgetting to remove these. Because I'm probably going to need a couple to get up here. Okay. No, I find this a little bit hard. I'll do that again. There we go. Let's get rid of the staircase we made. Okay, get rid of that one. Right then, just one more to go. And this last one is over there. So I have to go 2 branches over. Oh, I think I created a new one. Nope. Right then, up here. Oh, jump up there. Yep, there we go. Not sure if it's easier going from here or not. Well, no, probably not. It's probably easier to aim in first person. Okay. Up here. That branch is over there, so I think the easiest way is to go around here. This one's angular, but an easier angle for to walk along, so no need for extra ones there. Okay, we've got all 3. And a wonderful view of the tree too. Not that I would need to get rid of them now. Okay. And as a vendor, she has the standard kind of array of potions and ingredients. Okay, so that's the second one complete. And the third one is with Glyn. Hello. It's with Glyn Birchwood, is it? Birchskin. In the Downtree Inn, which is now unlocked. Now, first have a little look around here. You'll see there are loads of barrels, loads of barrels, loads of barrels. All little taps on, spigots, and oh, yeah, oh, we already have loads of them, and we'll find out what they're for. Just oh yes, what is that odd thing behind the bar there? This is a bar guy. He should have additionally some beer tokens you can buy. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and buy those. Other than that, food, ingredients, usual stuff. We've done that. Right. So this is I suppose you might call it a Radiant quest, but it's not quite. He's asking you to go out there into Skyrim and find a race against time to find a drink before it goes stale. And this covers more or less all of the, well, in fact, all I think of the beverages that are available in Skyrim. So no matter where you are, you can always come here and get one. And well, I mean, let's have a look over here. I did have an idea originally of having a little painting appear there for every one you're looking for, to give you a clue as to where it might be visually. I've decided against that, and what we've gone with is a description that you've got to listen to quite carefully, and the quest itself will tell you what area you can find it. But that said, people are still finding them very difficult to find, so I have added an additional feature, which means you can turn on and off objective pointers. They don't make a difference to what the reward you get. So if you're having difficulty finding them, then go ahead and turn on the white pointers. But the idea is that you wouldn't do that. You'd work it out from the clues. Let's have a look. Well, we know who Huel is, and let's turn that on. And we can see an objective: find the quintessential gin and tonics somewhere around the infinity tree before it goes stale. So there are 2 additional drinks in that long list of drinks that are new ones that come with the infinity tree, and gin and tonics is the first one. You may recognize the name a little bit. For anyone who's a fan of, yeah, you might hear that's yeah, that humming again. I might give you a bigger clue this time. Anyone who's read the Douglas Adams books, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, may have heard his thinkings on gin and tonics. And the idea is that any civilization across the galaxy will at some point create a drink called the gin and tonics, although they massively vary in what they are. Every civilization seems to have one for some reason. So all we need to do is pick it up, as we just did then. The timer will stop counting, and we need to rush back to Glyn. Oh, there we go. Now, there is no timeout on the way back, so once you picked it up, you're fine. It's safe. Okay, here he is. Right. So, now that he's received that, he can make an unlimited amount of it, and we can buy gin and tonics here for 6 tokens. And as he said, he's going to put some tasting notes on, so he has the tasting notes here. So this university available, yeah, that's that's the connection with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And okay, so we've got one so far. Well, can I put this back on the stand? It's going to annoy me if it's not there. Oh no, apparently I can't. All right, but I'm going to ask for another drink. You might already guess what that might be, but this will be the big hint. So it's around the Drunken Huntsman, the quintessential ale. And as he said before, it seems to be getting towards the end of the day. The tree's beginning to glow a little. Hello. He doesn't like being up the tree. As we said before, the launchers will come in very, very handy at this point. There we go. Okay, yeah, as we mentioned before, K9 is working. So we'll take K9 to the console room. And I think, oh, maybe we're at Whiterun already. I think we changed model that. Straight to the lobby. We won't know how much time we've got left until time runs out, but I think we've got plenty of time. Now, if you choose to fast travel, of course, time will go past very quickly, and you'll run out of time on the on the quest. So always use the Sidrat if you can. Okay, we found it. Back we go into the Sidrat. Here we go, and I'm going to go straight to the mechanical mansion. Right. Straight over to the Infinity Tree. Perfect landing. 10 out of 10. Okay. Wrong side of the gate. Okay, so we've got a second one there. Where is that going to be? Is it through here? Yeah, there it is. Right, so you don't need to do all of these booze quests. I think there are about 25. As you can see, there's one for every one of these barrels. So I think there's around 25. But when you get to 12 or 13, he will consider that having helped him. So I think maybe we cut a bit now, and because you can now use the pointers to locate things, I don't think there's any need for me to point out the location of every single one of those drinks. So I'll come back when I've got 12, and yeah, we can see what's up with the Treetop Lodge. Okay, back in a moment. Right, there we go then. So that's must be the 12th or the 13th one. The Stross Mackay rum. Okay, so we've helped out all the Infinity Tree residents. If we look around, we'll find. Oh well, that one was already unlocked. We'll see quite a few of these have now been unlocked, but still plenty more to go. But at this point, we have helped all three of the residents, so we are going to go outside and check out the Treetop Lodge. I think again I'm going to wait through till morning. Let's have a look. It's not quite morning yet. What time is it? 5:45. Maybe it will by the time we get to the top of the tree. Okay, it's unlocked and we can see some lights are on. Now, I hope to add a lot more to this lodge because it is very, very simple at the moment. Fill some of those shelves. But at the moment we do have a couple of ledges we can sit on. And maybe watch the sun come up. Let's have a look. We're not going to wait there for the sun to come up. Although, oh, it kind of is happening. It's kind of changing now. Okay, by the time we've explored a little bit, I'm sure the sun will be much more obvious. Okay, so there's only a couple of key things in here now. Obviously, this has been left as Twinter left it. He seemed to have managed to find some duplicate chests, and indeed here we've got the access to all of the storage except the food storage, because there's no cooking here. And what he has discovered is an Omnicrafter, and this Omnicrafter allows you to choose whichever crafting table you want. And all of these are linked through to the resources, much like the other ones in the crafting rooms. This place is a little bit more compact though, and it means we can just switch whenever we want. There we go. Sorting chest does what exactly as it would have done in the main part of the Sidrat, in the living quarters. And indeed, you get access to everything here that you would do before. I'm not quite sure what I had already put in. Oh, I put in some supplies. There we go. But one very important thing here is we have a canine. So the canine has now been unlocked, and that means we can now jump to any part of the Sidrat from the Infinity Tree itself, rather than just a mechanical mansion. There's also a climbing rope to lower the rope and climb all the way down there. Very healthy, my character, obviously, and that will make it much easier now to finish off the rest of the booze hunt quests. It should be much faster now. Something I should point out about these booze hunt quests: if you don't make it the first time, then don't forget you've got the Summon the Sidrat Anywhere spell that you could use. Obviously, that won't work here. That you can use to summon the Sidrat close to where you think the beverage will be. And when you come back and ask Glyn for another beverage, he'll give you that same one again, and you'll have a restarted timer, and it should be much easier to get it the second time round if you didn't manage to get it around the first one. The Steam Crag location is one of the harder ones because there's quite a distance you need to run from the closest Sidrat landing spot. But if you summoned the Sidrat really close to it, then it should be no effort. Okay, then I'm going to hunt the rest of the drinks down, and I'll catch up with you again after that. Okay, and this is the last one. Velvet Gin is again another nod to the TV series Zapped, when Howell decides he's never going to drink again. They tempt him back to his old ways with Velvet Gin. Okay, you should find it here. Oh, someone knocked his honey over. Yeah, it's not going to fit in there, is it? Maybe? Perfect. Oh, he doesn't seem to mind too much. All right, for those who are getting quite fed up with doing all of those, I will sort out a code at some point. Let's have a look. Okay, there we go. So we have now done all of the beverage quests. And as you can see, every single one of these barrels now has tasting notes. Some of the Alto wine ones. Yeah, it's very funny. I try to be as accurate as I can in those tasting notes. Some of them are very much tie into lore, Skyrim lore, and others are just mildly amusing. So do give them a go, and yeah, you'll find some tokens I think just lying around. There's a few just here you can grab. And just choose whichever one you want and buy it. I'm going to have a mead with juniper berry for 2 beer tokens. There we go. Fantastic. Right, okay. I think we're done in the inn. And I think now maybe we can go on to the cutting room floor items. I don't think there's anything else we need to go through yet. No, let's go with the cutting room floor. Again, I'm going to wait until it's daytime for better lighting. I notice YouTube seems to darken things a little bit, so unless you've got good light, it can be pretty unclear what's going on. Okay. So this is one I'm kind of disappointed I haven't been able to get working yet. It feels like it's really pushing the limits on what the engine can do to the point where it won't really work. That is Dragonsfury, I was going to call it. You can see it ahead there. It's a giant Dwemer Ballista. And we can work our way there from here. Like I said before, you won't find this in your version of the mod. It's been disabled because I couldn't get it working. You can follow this lift up, I think, and it gives one of the more pleasant views of the infinity tree you'll come across. Really, it's very nice. This dragon horn might give you a clue as to what it's about. So here it is. This is a giant Dwemer Ballista that you can actually climb into. And aim and fire. I can see by the color there I was experimenting with ethereality as a way to stop problems from happening. Unfortunately, it didn't. So you can move it around, you can aim it, and then finally you can fire it. There we go. On firing, unfortunately, the ethereality goes away. And I'll show you the problem if I go down here. Blow the dragon's horn. And if you're very lucky, you should see a dragon attacking us. Oh! Where is he? There he is. Oh, he's off again. Now then, is he going to hold still long enough for us to get a shot off? Oh! And there you see the problem. I cannot get it to stay in the seat. And as soon as you get knocked out of the seat, it gets broken and doesn't work anymore. So sadly, this dragon's going to have to die by just plain arrows rather than ballista bolts. A shame, because that was a lot of fun and could have worked very well. Okay, let's go to the second part then. This is I'm going to take us to a cell which you can only get by via the console. This is the storage cell, and this is where all of the Sidrat's models go when you're not using them. Let's have a look. Here we go. Now, yes, there's lots of stuff here, lots of experimental stuff. You might recognize the diving tower over there. I'll just float around a little bit so you can see a little bit more. And this is the second item that got removed. You can see it a little bit better here. This is it was going to be a Dwemer Launcher network that would go all the way across Skyrim and possibly even to Solstheim. But well, you'll see the problem when I show you the test I've got in the in Skyrim. But for the moment, let's have a quick look at the rest of the in development items. So we've got a lot of buildings here that you might recognize. All of these could theoretically have been a model for the Sidrat. This one actually is a model for the Sidrat, as is this one. And that one too, actually. But you'll see, yes, a lot of these buildings may at one point become another model. It's possible I could unlock another side to that to the model stand, and we could choose a few more. There's an orc compound there. There's some Falmer ones. There's another shell. Another option is to have variations of these models. If I could get it working, I'd also like to be able to have a sort of snow or ash covered version of them depending on where you land. So if it can work out that there is snowy weather in the area, then it'll simply add a level of snow over it so it matches in and fits a little bit better. This, I think, that might have been an original TARDIS I was working on there. Where was it? Was it just over here? Yes, that's a much larger version of a TARDIS model. You can see that's the companion's home, just ahead of us there. Let's have a look. What else did we get? It's a sort of larger version of the TARDIS, the police box model. And it's Thirsk Mead Hall. Could have been quite fun. And you notice over here there's actually quite a few boats. I was playing around for a while with the possibility of having a version of the Sidrat that you could actually move in a similar way to the boat that moves up and down the matrix to drop you off at the mechanical mansion. These you could take to a given location and then let it follow a route, so you could actually sort of journey across the waterways of Skyrim in real time. This is again, the bigger models are a little bit difficult to place in the world in a sort of happy way. This is obviously a pretty big castle, and if you had that landing in Riften, it could be a problem. I was thinking maybe we could, define various locations as being wilderness and therefore plenty of space. But you often find that there's no area really which is wide open flat space except possibly the tundra. There's so many trees around, so many things that it would just collide with. It wouldn't look particularly good, and that's a keep. And over here we have I thought of this as being the sort of vampire model. We've got various turrets there. And at the bottom we've got a couple of little gates, and as you can see, actually a dead death hound. And I would have set it up so there'd be a sort of lever up here which you can release the hounds from, and and just have 4 death hounds run run chaotically into whatever poor innocent Skyrim inhabitants you can find. This was going to be this is going to be the boiler on the back of a boat, and the engine, I suppose. As I said, a sort of movable model of the Sidrat. Okay, I think you've seen a few of those. Let's concentrate on the launchers now. I had a few designs for launchers, as you can see over there. Initially, I was trying to put water above them. The water has to kind of be high as to be a sort of catching area for the thrown player from any other launcher. But there are problems when you're underneath a level of water. It gets very confused, and you kind of end up drowning or floating in unexpected times. So that didn't really work. So what I worked on was a system, a catch system. So that's a Dwemer kind of catch beam, and I think this should work. Let me try this. This will fling me off at a slightly odd direction, but I should, when I'm coming over here, yeah, I kind of get caught. Now the effects aren't particularly good here, but then you'd float down, much as you do in Telmithrin, is it? And once you're there, you can work your way down. To the base. The idea here is there would be you'd be able to choose a destination. You'd each of the cubes here would represent a launcher, and there'd be a various route you could get to travel across all of Skyrim. And you'd rotate the launcher. The movable part would move around. And so this one, I think, should face over there, and then you pull your lever and off you go. This one hasn't been set to throw you very far. So if I then go to console room, I set up 2 of these in the world, and you'll see the problem with them then. Are we going? There we go. You might notice a delay from time to time. That's because the animation has to complete before it starts. Otherwise, you get, well, either a closed Eye of Harmony when it should be open, or an open one when it should be closed. Let's leave. Okay. Okay, so I set up 2 test launchers in the world, as I said, and they're kind of along Riften there. So yeah, we've got the Bethalft launcher there, and there is a Riften launcher there. So let's fast travel to the Bethalft. No, I can't pronounce that launcher. Okay, here it is. You can see Sidrat in the distance there. And we need to set the direction here. Doesn't quite have all the bits for the activators there. Okay. So we get on the launcher, pull the lever, and we hit the problem. There is a maximum velocity you can go in Skyrim, it seems. And this won't get you far enough. And in fact, you're gonna die. Oof. Dead. Now, you could say, well, can you not just put another one there? And you could, but you'd end up with so many of them and such a huge network that it really wouldn't be much fun, and it would clutter the countryside hugely. I was thinking of maybe 10 or 12 of them across the land, maybe not even that many. But having to do about 30, it's just not worth it. It's not feasible. In theory, I could think about something like a double jump, but by that point, I'm just kind of thinking, this isn't going to work, is it? It's quite beautiful up here. Let's see how far we can fly. I think part of the reason I wanted to do this just because how much fun was it to be able to see Skyrim from way up here? Yeah, you can do it on the back of a dragon, but this is the only way to fly, isn't it? And once again, yeah, falling far too short. I've even annoyed a cave bear. Must have surprised him. Okay, well, there you go. You've seen the cutting room floor stuff. And I think that was everything I wanted to cover. So, well, I hope you enjoy the Sidrat and all the new features of it. Have a great day. Cheerio.